Hello everybody, and welcome back to Khemia. We had some fun conversations with Aya and the thing you did nephew do. We're gonna continue our conversation with Aya. I hope she says that it's all going to go wrong. There's gonna be a coup, that the pharaoh is dead, and Neferu is next. Wouldn't that be exciting? I think that would be exciting. I follow Aya through the palace. The hall's quiet to a degree that's almost suffocating. I try to fill the silence by commenting on it. It's very quiet in this palace, in general, I mean. You have my father to thank for that. He had a very difficult time paying attention when there were distracting sounds. He had most of the palace's surface covered in a layer of nanomaterial that absorbs and cancels the sound. I see. That's insane. What? Like, I feel like I would be the person to now be like, take a plate and smash it on the ground just to cause noise. Like, you can't tell me that I can't make noise. I'll make it myself. I wonder if we ever have the resources to create such nanotech. We finally come to a stop at an inconspicuous door, though there are hieroglyphs, ancient ones, surrounding the door that hint at something more beyond. Aya stops suddenly, as if remembering something, and turns to me. She takes a moment to look me over. Okay, do you have any idea what this might be, Scipio? Not confidently, but I think it must have something to do with your ability to speak with me in my head over long distances. It does, yes, but much, much more than that, Scipio. You have specific abilities, excuse me, that have gone undetected until now. This is usually the case, but Khemia has recently archived the ability to measure and detect it. Well, excuse me. I'm gonna need to take a drink of water first. Don't know why I didn't do that before hitting the record button, but we never do things in proper order here. I wonder if these abilities are simply talents, like maybe my good grasp of history. I'm not sure you have the right wolf, Aya. I don't think I. Have you ever met someone who did the same as I, or experienced the same as you? No. Was it unusual that I was able to hear you? Very. But the most important question I have is if you want to learn more, or leave it at that. While it's not dangerous, it seems you're having negative experience related to this ability. Do you mean like... that word? Oh, no, not that specifically. I see Aya moving away from the door, is taking steps toward me, and I think she's second-guessing herself. Is it bad for you? I can help you find resources for treatment, or let Neferu know he can... I let out a fake laugh, one that I think sounds genuine, though it's hard to tell with how the walls suck up the sound of it. No, that's just what came to mind. I have a mild case of it that causes negative moments in my life, so I thought that might be it. I see. I haven't prodded further into your past out of respect, but I can sense some unresolved pain. I just want to warn that sometimes the experiences can be intense and outside forces may take advantage of this. There's a pause and I blink at Aya, waiting to learn more about these outside forces. I know this all sounds very confusing, but there are a few rules that must be followed, so what happens beyond this door cannot be discussed with anyone except me. I just want to forewarn you and give you a chance to back out. This is all becoming much more serious than I had initially expected. Still, the mysterious nature of it all and the almost frustrating ambiguity makes me feel as if I can't back out now. I understand. I would like to know more, and I'll make sure to keep it confidential. Alright, we'll do the official oaths once we're settled. Aya steps toward the door again, and speaks up. Aya, Scipio is unauthorized to have access to this room. Please grant him access for a single entry, please.
Very well.
Aya looks over her shoulder at me. I'll make it permanent depending on how well this goes. Don't worry though, just normal precautions. I nod, simultaneously. We got there. Checking my body language, stilling my tail, keeping my eyes up and my shoulders loose. And don't worry about the sound you hear as you pass through the door. It's all part of the process. I lower my ears, about to ask Aya what exactly that noise was doing when I see the room. What is it? What does it look like? That's teeth. That's a mouth. It's gonna go chomp. It's almost like I've entered a dream and the walls of this room seem to fade out into the distance. Lines and curves are hazy and undefined, and there's a sort of pressure in the air. So, what you're feeling right now is the veil thinner. If you remember, the stretch drive makes it easier to communicate in this way. That sound, the feeling you have, makes this process much easier.
I see.
I don't have anything to add because I never have anything to add to these things. It's fascinating, unnerving, and uncomfortable all at the same time. I'll start with the basics. We'll take an oath. It will sound serious, but really it keeps a sense of trust and openness in the realm we enter while preparing the mind for calm, sacred work. By the royal bloodline of my family line and the ocean of the amalgamation, the words spoken in this room are sealed. Now go ahead and repeat something along those lines. I feel a bit panicked as I try to think of an appropriate and earnest-sounding oath of my own.
By the sacred task of my imperial duties, and until the silence that follows my last breath, all that is spoken within this room is sealed.
I'm relieved that Aya seems pleased with this. Alright, so here we go. I am the current Saket? Bookman. I don't know. Of Khemia, the 83rd in a long line post Ahotep's unification. Sounds familiar. We're just gonna skip that word until we figure it out later. Someone tell me in the comments. I'd be very pleased. And based on my limited knowledge of the Khemian language, something involved transmission or communication along with a hint of divinity or past spaces. My main purpose, which began in my 15th year, is to communicate with the parents. I'm quiet at first, in case she has more to say, and also to think about that. When she doesn't say more, I realize she's giving me an opportunity to ask questions.
I see. From my understanding, the parents are not just on a different plane of existence, but on a also different to communicate with, even directly. But that's impossible as far as I know.
That's true. However, I don't communicate with them through words, or rather, through feelings and guidance.
You do this without tech, or any other form of assistance?
Yes.
I see. What are the monitors? Can they not do the same?
They can, and they're far better at it. But their methods are fully controlled and authorized by the parents. This method allows for more direct and quick communication.
And they talk to you willingly.
So that's where it gets really interesting. Well, they don't talk to me or even acknowledge me. I can feel their motives or emotions to an extent. There is still communication to an extent, but it's hard to describe. It can be difficult to piece together, but it has been a great asset to Khemia and civilization as a whole.
Is that why you're so technologically advanced?
I've never personally been able to glean insights into technology, though it's possible past sock hats. It's not sock hats. How is this pronounced, guys? Have been able to, especially if they were tech savvy. Probably not then. I then do some quick math in my head, considering the unification happened 5,000 years earlier than Adastra.
Is it a lifetime position? If it's held for over 150 years on average.
Generally, though there have been gaps, and somehow chose to leave once another is found.
Do you wish to leave?
My questions are a bit bold, sorry, but I remind myself that she is still in a position far above mine, even if her demeanor causes me to forget that she's not a child. Not yet, though I've also been doing this for 5 years, so I suppose my mind might change in 100.
Understood. So you sense that I might be the same. Do you know everyone who has these abilities then? Just by sensing them?
No, but I believe that your closeness to my brother and my fate in general are what tied me to you, in a way.
How well known is this? Do other siblings have their own sockets?
Yes, the Hindu have an ancient tradition surrounding it, while the Amorphans still use hallucinogens from plant life to reach a similar state. The Taharkans also call theirs the Docker. Docker? Man. I'm not good at the foreign languages. I'm not even good at this language. I'm doomed. I sometimes talk to the current. I sometimes talk to the current Docker, in fact.
Do you talk to the others then?
Only ones with the same gift, and after I've formed a bond with them, he's a friend of mine. He's interested in meeting you at some point.
Oh.
I've never met a lion before. Ooh, a lion! And doing so in this state is intimidating. But don't worry, we'll do all that next time.
Sounds good. So, to be clear, Neferu doesn't know what you do, right? He seems surprised that you were communicating with me at all.
Was he upset? It would be just like him.
Couldn't you sense it?
Remember, I can only read people with similar gifts who I know personally, you being the exception. She explains it to me patiently.
That's right, sorry. So how much of this can what can I say to anyone? And especially someone like Neferu? I can't bring up Amicus, of course, and not only because I know the answer is no. This may be something I never tell anyone about. Neferu knows I communicate with the parents, and that is all. You'll sort of be able to tell what you can and can't share. As for the Emperor and Adastra as a whole, the same applies. I can only ask you to participate in 3 sessions, this being one of them. Before you consider telling them, this is only so you have a broader understanding of its significance and impact. Though we are about to take an oath, if you ever feel your safety or health at risk, do not hesitate to ask for help or reveal information you might find be crucial to help others. Be warned though, if you choose to be fully open of your envoy, you will be dropped from training. I hope she tells me how she'd know, but she doesn't. I shift from foot to foot, trying to make it look like I'm just loosening up. I don't think the wolves have ever had such a position, or recognition of such abilities. Older religions might have, but it was archived the same way as the cats. Naya nods.
Wolves aren't the only siblings who don't recognize the values of sapiens with more flexible minds. You know, this entire time I'm like, are we a new type? That might be too old of a reference. Like a new type from Gundam. You know? Is this gonna turn into Gundam? Can I get my mech? Can we get the white doll? Specifically, you know? I'm a big fan of Turn A. So
I see.
And I must admit, it would be much more tolerable if I had someone to talk to or discuss these topics with, other than just a Docker. With an alliance forming, this would be a good bond to share for all three of us. And that's why you're somewhat unique, and why I have so much interest in you. I sensed and found you before I met you. It feels intentional.
Is there intention behind this? Like, do the parents somehow control it? Sorry, I'm just trying to make some sense of this.
While I don't believe the parents control it, I do think it has to do with how they exist. The mind is sort of able to move through different planes, similar to what the parents do.
Is there a lot to learn?
A little bit, but that's the great part. I got the hang of it within a few sessions, which is the norm from what I've been told. It must be a natural talent she believes I have then, which I both hope to disprove and prove at the same time.
I see. Okay, so how do you do it?
I'm almost eager now. Now that that's where people differ the most. You have to find your key. This will unlock and lock the gate you will open. I think you already know yours, Scipio.
Meditation?
Precisely. So, you already have your key. You have unlocked and locked the gate before. You already have some experience.
Interesting.
I remember the comment she made to Nefidu about rumors of her being schizophrenic, and part of me wonders if this is all one big delusion. I doubt that it is, but my mind struggles trying to process this conversation. That would be laughed at by the others.
What is your key, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine is palm rating. Dr. Zanmex is through holding certain stones and crystals that he feels energy from. You do eventually learn to access the gate without the ritual you once used, though Zamek still holds crystals during communication for his grounding technique. Still, we practice our keys from time to time to keep us spiritually awake and practiced. A sudden realization hits me, and I reflexively clench and open my palm.
Is that what you were doing when we first met?
Yeah, you caught me. I know it was strange, but I didn't plan to hang out that long. It was just a surprise when I felt your energy for the first time. I was having a hard time deciphering what it was telling me. I want to ask if that's a good or bad thing, but I notice Aya staring at my palms. Paws. And I stand straighter while clearing my throat.
Did you want to read it again?
I offer a paw. Actually, yeah, thanks, Scipio. It will put me in the right headspace, and then we can start on your key. Remember, though, I'm not telling you your future, but rather the feeling I get from the current path you're on. And people change paths multiple times in life. It's the key to the gate that matters most. Aya gently holds my paw, all again feeling it more than looking at it. I'd use powder to better use the creases in your pads, but since I don't have my palmistry kit with me, I'm going to go off mounts.
Mounts?
The feel and shape of your pads.
Oh, got it.
But she's already at work, and I feel her press into my thumb pads, and then she becomes quiet, eyes closed. When she speaks, it's with less passion and an almost monotone voice. Hot, but rough and flat, emotionally guarded, and love is working its way in. I assume it's Nefidu. He's the same. Do you mind if I feel your primary mount? It helps me see the path and possible fate you're heading toward.
Go ahead.
I say it automatically, regretting it, but knowing I need to be open with Aya right now, and considering I don't know what my path or fate is. She shifts her paws, and this time she focuses on my middle finger, with more interest. She pauses for much longer this time, and I get the urge to pull back again, despite her assurances that none of this is set in stone. Still, if it's connected to the parents, or anything that's fact, then why wouldn't she be able to see the truth? Cold and fleshy. Lots of depths. More repression than I've ever felt before. I begin my own grounding technique, made all the more difficult by the quicksand-like material beneath my feet. Maybe I should bring my own physical objects to better stay connected to reality like Zenmik does. Her eyes then rest on my claws, gently feeling the round, uneven break where the tip had been scraped off. I almost self-consciously tell her what happened, that I hadn't had a chance to clip it yet, but I keep it quiet for now, not wanting to break her obvious trance. Aya opens her eyes, and the look she's giving my paw isn't a good one. Then she suddenly whispers in low and repeated fire Khemian. Those are words, fellas. Those are words indeed. The Khemian words are completely untranslated in my lingua, and I'm left staring at the jackal. It must have been a phrase or ritualistic saying, if it wasn't intended to be translated. But slowly her eyes focus a bit, and she smiles at me.
What did you see?
Aya seems to think hard about her words. I don't know yet, but I'll try to uncover as much as I can in future sessions. Sorry if I worried you. It happens from time to time. Her expression and those whispered Khemian words, which I'm now convinced we got there, fellas, were a blessing based on the few Khemian words I know, make me think it usually doesn't happen. All right, now, do what you always do when meditating, but try to reach further, if that makes sense. All right, everyone. We'll leave Scipio's meditation for next time. So we'll be ending the part here. So I do hope that you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.